You're here for vacation. Why are you not here every day now? Inside. Spend time with you. Oh gosh. Take a look for 2 hours. Yeah, too much fun. You and your daughters. No. 200 people. Why? Are you defending somebody else's right to come here with villain? I'm here to one that attends whatever else she is. Layla's here today. House. That's not her job. Yeah, in our house. We're rat house. This is the case in law. It says clearly, anything the power of attorneys of financial power, anything that the person can do. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Let me see if I can make a better resolution out of this. Just by cleaning this a little bit. Is it any better? I guess that's as good as it gets. All right. So let's see who we have here. Hope you're all doing well before we go further than that. So we have whopping 6 people here. That's very encouraging for me to stop these live streams anyhow. Because what am I doing here? But the most important things are the ones who are here, most important people. So let's go. We have Miyamoto here from India, 18-year-old from India. Hello there. We have Tia Tia, female, 19, UAE. Ahlan wa sahlan. So, so, and that's it. So where's the rest of you 6 people here? Cat got your tongue. Say something. Okay, let's talk. Let's address the first question here. Miyamoto says, male 18 from India, facing HOCD from last 1.5 month. It all started because one of my friends calling me gay because I complimented another friend. These thoughts are not stopping. Well, that is what the brain amygdala system of protection of yours does by becoming overactive and oversensitive to protect you something that is not in line with your values. Obviously, you're not gay. If you were gay, you would be jubilant about this. And you would not find a contradiction between your identity, your values, your lifestyle, and what the brain is suggesting. Just like if the brain puts a thought in your head that you're heterosexual, you would notice it and you'd say, yeah, great. There would be no repetitive thoughts, images, discomfort, anything. Yeah. But when there is something not in line with your values and you become alarmed, and sometimes in your case and many other people's cases, over alarmed because you're overly actually diehard heterosexual. And your system is trying to defend you against some kind of an intrusive entity. That intrusive entity could be a person trying to hit on you, could be your brain, your thoughts, images. These are all part of inclusiveness. So that is a normal behavior of an abnormal brain like ours when they are overprotective and trying to defend what your values are versus what the brain is suggesting. And having said that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you praising or complimenting on another same gender's looks. This is normal. Human being is interested in complimenting things that are well designed, look good, pleasant, because at the same time, not that it is just our nature to appreciate good looking things, good looking handbag, good looking horse, good looking dog, good looking person, human being, same gender or not. So how come is it that when I say, oh, that horse looks beautiful, doesn't mean I'm a horsosexual. It just means I saw something good looking and I made a comment about it. And I'm designed to notice what's good looking, what's not good looking. It's simple. So noticing a good look of another male, if you're a male, is perfectly normal. Part of the way things should be. Not noticing it, that means you're stupid. You can't tell the difference between good design, good looking, or not look good looking. Just as we notice good looks of a woman versus a look that we're not so fond of, we can also see good looks of a man and a look of a man that we don't think is well designed. So, and then we also at the same time proud to see and happy to see a good looking man, because that's our gender, that's our species, that makes me look more important, because the men are good looking. We all like to be good looking. So when I see a good looking man, I say, oh, great, it's one of me, one of us is good looking. It's like we're all, like tennis, and one of us becomes a real good player or champion or win a tournament. We're also great, great, we're cheering for that achievement. As simply as that. It's then very normal to notice somebody else's good look, same gender or not. And Mimota says, whenever I try to ignore, I think I'm accepting thoughts, and I have read that you become what you think. Who was the fucking idiot bullshit that put that sort of thing? You become what you think? Well, I think I'm a horse. Oh, maybe there, but no. But that doesn't change it. Well, I think what I become. Well, I think I'm a doctor. No, unless I put the work in and go study for God knows how many years, and then become a weak-minded idiot, follow the WHO and all the narratives of government, I won't be a doctor. There are new criteria. So unless you meet all those criteria, you can't just think yourself to be a doctor. That's bullshit. Well, I have 3 toes extra, or 3 fingers extra. I become what I think. Still 5. That nonsense crock of bullshit that they put. Where do you read? I read this. Like anything that is written somewhere is what? Gospel? Truth? How? I can write something here. You're an asshole. Here. Are you an asshole now? So stop the nonsense. But that's particularly the hallmark of HOCD, OCD, doubting disease. OCD, French call it doubting disease. Of course, as you know, they don't say it that way. They say the doubting disease. So HOCD is the ultimate doubting disease. It doubts your own gender. But understand, what is the source of it? It's the brain. It's not you, because you're not the brain. Brain is not you. Brain has its own goddamn brain. Brain is a tool. You use it to learn something, to calculate something, to figure out something, to promote something, to design something, invent something. It's a tool. It's an apparatus. It's not your intellect. It's not a smart. It's a machine. Thought manufacturing machine. And when you're not using it, it uses its own apparatus to make thoughts based on all the stuff that has seeped through. Ideas, somebody told you gay. That's something it's going to use to make thoughts about it. It is not an intellect. When Dr. Speary and actually Dr. Penfield of Montreal, I think it was 1960s, many of these doctors, neurosurgeons, have done thousands of operations on brain in order to do research and find data in regarding to what can be localized in brain. And as you may have read, when you get into the skull, that's painful. So you have anesthesia and all that. But once you get into the brain doesn't have pain nerves. You can't feel a pain. That's why often in their operations, the patient was awake and helping the surgeon to do his research and do whatever he's doing. So, for example, they could simulate part of the brain, like in the back occipital point, and the eyes would register a certain sight. They said the patient would say, "Yeah, I see some light." Or if they would stimulate another part of the brain, the motoring part, and the limb would move. Or they would stimulate speech center. They could localize speech center when the person would make a sound by stimulating that part of the brain. So they could localize speech center, movement, motoring center, the sight center, but they could never localize intellect center, compassionate center, love center, math center, mathematics center. They could never localize political thinking center. They could never localize things that is beyond a certain number of things that they could have found localization in the brain. Intellect wasn't any of them. They could never localize intellect. Consciousness, they could never localize consciousness center. So they found out that there are aspects of you and the mind that the brain cannot reach. So brain is not you and you're not the brain. So when brain comes up with all these images and thoughts and suggestions, it's the brain. It's not you. It may think it's something, but it's making all these thoughts. You are the one who consider the brain as being something more than a tool because it creates something. But it is just a tool. Just like your liver secretes some kind of a bile, it doesn't mean that it's something other than liver. No, it's still an organ that has been put into your body to help enhance your abilities, regulate something. Kidney filters the blood, but the enzymes and the things that it produces to do that does not mean it's anything more than kidney. That's what kidney does. Brain coming up with the suggestions, images, and thoughts doesn't make it something more than what it is: a tool, apparatus, an organ. Its job is to produce thoughts. Those thoughts are not supposed to tell you that these are your thoughts. These are explaining and describing you, because the brain is beyond you. No, brain is an apparatus given to you as part of you to work for you, not to be you. It is not you, and you're not the brain. So its uttering and suggestions are crock of shit, nonsense. It's just the way that we've been duped to think that brain is my intellect. I am the brain. So what brain says I am? Bullshit. You didn't have this brain 40,000 years ago, but you lived for millions of years without this brain, and you existed. You survived. You had everything taken care of automatically, instinctively. You would run, you would hunt, you would sleep, you have sex. You had no questions about your gender, nothing. Why? Because you had no ability to think or speak. Words meant nothing. There were no words. Everything was instinctive. 40,000 years ago, as this brain was developed to a point to be being able to enhance your abilities, suddenly over the years, we start thinking that brain is my smarts. I'm following the brain. No, you were there first. Brain was added to you. Brain is following you. Brain is never you. You're never brain. It has its own glitches and malfunctions, and that's one of them. OCD, HOCD, doubting, all this shit is the glitch of the brain. You need to help your brain. It's your apparatus, it's your organ. You need to help heal it. You need to help it to rewire it. It's gone haywire. And I've explained in many videos why and what components are involved in this glitch and its malfunction. Having said that, so we've been debate more. In the starting days, I had anxiety. Okay. Now the anxiety is gone. Okay, anxiety is gone. So what? Means nothing. Don't think, oh, because the anxiety is gone, then I've accepted that I am this or I'm that. No. After a while, we no longer take it seriously to think that this is such a threat. It's like if you pass by through a dark alley, first time you're very scared. something's going to jump at me, an animal, a person is going to kill me or something, because it's dark. So you start whistling to create that kind of a security for yourself. Now you pass by a second time, you're still apprehensive. Third time, now fourth time, you're kind of used to it. So there is no fear. Does that mean that you welcome something jumping at you, or murder come and murder you, or animal jumping? No, it just means that that fear has shown itself that is not a real fear. It is not a real threat. I know I'm still have my own preference, my own thinking, and I know who I am. I want to be continuing who I've always been and want to be, and that's my preference. So I'm kind of a little bit, kind of not as worried about it, because it has lost its shock of having any kind of a effect on me, because I'm still who I am, haven't changed. It keeps saying to me, but I still have the same thoughts and interests, and I'm not deviating from it. So your anxiety may be, calm down a little bit. That it's not a sign of anything. That I've accepted that I am this because anxiety is gone. It's all bullshit. I have videos on these things. Watch it. Don't get me going on these things for so many things that I've already done for you guys. Go search it, watch it. There are 3,000 videos, for heaven's sake. At least, I don't know, 700, 500 of this for OCD and HOCD. Terrifies me. I'm changing. Who says you're changing? You just make a conclusion. What the fuck is wrong with you? Some asshole walks behind you and says something about you, then suddenly you are what the asshole says. Well, the asshole happens to be on your head right now. He's telling you shit. Tell him, fuck off. Simple. Don't need to explain anything. Don't need to suggest, explain, analyze, and nothing. Just say, thank you. Yeah, you're crazy. That's it. Stick with your grounds. Your preference. Protect it. By how? Not paying attention to garbage. It doesn't matter how many people say out there or what you hear from your brain. All opinions are their opinions. Whatever it is. That you don't like orange, you like orange. You don't like golf, you like golf. Or tennis is opinion. You don't listen to other people's opinions. Same thing. You don't listen to your brain. You just find out, hey, there's something wrong with this. Let me fix it. Then you have many outlets and many techniques with the psychologists, psychotherapists, such as Dr. Schwartz, Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Weiner, and study the work of the brilliant neuroscientists, neurosurgeons, philosophical point of view, scientific point of view. I have them, Dr. Libet, Dr. Sperry, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owens. They're all there, their work. I've made videos on them. Watch them. And instead of believing what you read or your brain, watch the facts, sciences. I worked my ass off to put all these things for you guys. Every time a thought shows up, you're going to panic. Oh my goodness, I'm changing. My dick is going to fall off now. No. If that was the case, the brain was so powerful, why don't you ask it for something else? Well, could you please have a few beautiful girls with high heels behind my door? I mean, brain is so powerful that it can make things happen, make changes, yeah? Why don't you ask for some $1 million in your bank? I have $1 million in my bank. None of that happens. But when it talks about your gender, suddenly, oh, why, I'm changing. When did you guys become such pussycats? Stand your ground. Protect your dick. God. Is that how you protect your child if there's a danger of somebody stealing it? These thoughts are just trying to steal something that doesn't belong to them, and they can never steal it if you simply become aware that these are thoughts. They have no power on them all, on themselves, on their own. In a million years, no thoughts, images, suggestions can ever become a reality and actuality in real life unless you choose to bring action to what the suggestion is. It cannot become anything or change you in any way, shape, or form. As I said, it wasn't involved when you were being created in your mother's womb. Brain wasn't even functioning, wasn't even completed when your gender and sexuality was already created in genetically in your mother's womb. Brain wasn't functional. It took another year after your birth until the brain starts saying things, understanding, becoming really start becoming functional. So if the brain wasn't involved when you were being created, your gender was being created, you were being created, how could it be involved in changing you? It can suggest to you, influence you like other assholes in the world that they constantly trying to promote their shit, whatever it is, the food they like, they don't like, the sport they like, they don't like, advertise this, promote that. You just go about what it is interesting to you, not what people say. Same thing here. It can suggest whatever you want to suggest. You're supposed to stand your ground and protect your child, protect yourself, protect whatever it is you, just like you protect your belongings. With the first suggestion, oh, let me have your child, I'll take care of him. The fuck you. You don't believe someone who says, well, your child is actually, likes to eat shit, or likes to play in the mud, or likes to play with the pigs, or likes to ride horses. Well, you don't know. You're not going to trust that. You're going to protect the child and say, listen, I'll take care of my child. Same thing, your brain, your organs is part of you. If the brain suggests you're this, say, well, listen, my genitalia, my gender is me, my identity and mine, my choice and my design, whatever I've been made, I am that and I prefer that. And your suggestion, Mr. Brain, thank you very much, but no thank you. I'm sticking with what I prefer, what I like to be, what I am, and I'll protect that. Not with every suggestion, oh my goodness, I'm changing. With every wind blows you, oh, I'm going with the wind. No. Hold on to something. All right. Stop looking at these posts. Yeah. These thoughts are suggestions that a brain that is in the glitch of OCD catches on to and makes more and more of these thoughts, lets these thoughts constantly percolate. Don't. You know that I have Dr. Schwartz 4-step for OCD and how to treat and help to rewire your brain. So use it. Don't sit down and read garbage and then believe it, because that's what you're reading. You're seeing it and you're saying it and you're reading it and you think, oh, well, I'm being told and that's how it is. How? Where's the credibility of that shit? Where's the credibility of the brain? Brain is a tool. It just gets all this information seeping through from media, from conversations, from people's lifestyle, from books and reading and all this shit that you read. So it creates thoughts, and those thoughts are created, but they're not reality or actuality about you. They're just thoughts. But the brain, when it's in glitch of OCD, believes every negative things that is not in line with his values, but it is afraid of it might become. That's the glitch. That's the disease. They call it the doubting disease, because you're so protective of yourself. Any negative has a possibility to make you feel frightened, because it can attack you and you're trying to protect. That's your way of amygdala trying to protect you, becomes overactive and overstimulated and overprotective. And you just have to calm the amygdala down, calm yourself down, and let yourself logically understand it. I can't be changed just because of thought. Okay, I'm thinking I've got 6 fingers. I'm going to be thinking till the cows come home. I'm going to have 6 fingers. It's still going to be 5. I'm going to say, well, one of my fingers is going to fall off. It's going to change to 4 fingers. It'll never happen by thinking. Unless you get a knife and chop it, it won't happen. And you can do it by chopping it, have 4 fingers, But you can never have six fingers, even with anything, yeah? Until you just stick another finger, you say, oh, that's six fingers. Bullshit. So you can see, if it works this way, it should work the other way too. How many gay people have become heterosexual? Because thoughts showed up. Remember, any sexuality has intrusive thoughts. Many gay people think they're straight, and they have these intrusive, to them, that's intrusive. Same thing for us. You're heterosexual, you could have thoughts that are not in line with your value. That's our intrusive thoughts. But how many homosexuals have turned heterosexual? I mean, if it's possible from changing from heterosexual to homosexual, as you say, you read and all that thing, then it should be possible from the other side, homosexual turn to heterosexual. How many times have you heard that? Pretty much nothing. So how come they don't change? If gender is something switchable, why is it not changing from the other one to this one, only to this one to something else? Why not changing to homosexual and then changing from homosexual to heterosexual next year, and then changing again 3 years later, and then changing it? So for fuck's sake, what are you going to be if you don't focus on your preference and your choices and stop listening to the brain's oscillation? Some people are born gay, some people are born heterosexual. That's how it's going to be the rest of their lives. In the middle, all these thoughts are just distraction, bullshit, and glitches and malfunction of the brain. Nothing else. Now, you want to be afraid of it? Well, go be afraid of it. But still doesn't change. It's OCD. You are what you're born. You won't change. It's not like fluid, as some shitheads say. How come I don't turn into, a fish? If that is fluid and changeable, then everything about me should be fluid. I should be a fish, or an elephant, or a crocodile, or a horse, or a human being. I mean, where does it stop? Why is it just one thing? My gender. Not my finger. I can't have two dicks. I wouldn't mind it, But well, it's already useless anyhow. I mean, not not too many takers. So why would waste it? So you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to be entertaining as the same way as you guys, so you guys can understand and absorb. But there is enough logic and scientific background of all these things that you just suddenly, you're so in tune with what you are, what you want to be, and what you prefer to be. They're so scared to losing, because with everything that we love and we're happy with, there's a natural fear of losing it. You love your house, you're afraid to lose it. You love your girlfriend, you're afraid she leaves you. You love your wife, you're afraid she leaves you. You love your money, you think it might be stolen. Anything you love, there's a fear of losing it. You love yourself, you love your gender, you love your sexuality. With the environment that we are so much talk and so much hoopla and celebration of things that just different, but they celebrate everything else but heterosexuality. So all these thoughts can bring that kind of a suggestion. But that doesn't mean that you are changing because the suggestion's happening. That's the nature of a glitch of the OCD and HOCD brain. And all the rest of the shit that you said here, I might be bi, I might be, all of that is just the product of HOCD, OCD, doubting any thoughts, anything that you prefer and you like and you are trying to protect. You become afraid of losing it, and all these thoughts seep through and try to feed that fear. Otherwise, biologically, you're not changing. You will never change because that's how you were born. And if you're born heterosexual, you're going to remain heterosexual till you die. You're born gay, you're homosexual, you'll remain homosexual until you die. We don't have that control mentally. I can control my genes. Today, I will be a woman. I will wear high heels and date myself. What the fuck you talking about? All right. Life is not that convenient. All right. So, hope that will help you out. So, in short and long is stop the bullshit and learn Dr. Schwartz's 4-step and try to help your brain rewire it through neuroplasticity, learn about brain components of the brain, the malfunction of the signaling system of the brain, understand OCD, HOCD, and all these roles the different components play, amygdala, your fear, and all the rest of it. All right. And Tia says, female 19 UAE says, whenever I meet someone and we click together, I don't know why, I overthink the relationship, and when they pull back, I try to get their attention again. That's naturally you want to be in a relationship, and sometimes our eagerness toward achieving that relationship ruins that relationship because most people are not confident. So when you put so much effort and attention to them, show your love and care and attention, since they don't have enough confidence or value for themselves, they somehow feel that they're being attended to, but they don't know why, because in their mind, they're not so worthy. In their mind, they're not so hot. In their mind, they're not so special. So they say, if I don't think I'm so special myself, why is this girl so special, so paying so much attention, thinks I'm so special? I know I'm not. I know I'm not that hot. So why is this girl paying so much attention to me? Or vice versa. If you're a guy, you like a girl, you pay so much attention to her, and she's not that confident, and she doesn't think much of herself. Says, if I don't think much of myself, why is this guy thinking so much of me? I don't think I'm much, but he thinks I'm much. Well, perhaps he's not much to think that I'm something which I'm not much. So that means he's not much. So if he's not much, I don't want him. So sometimes you need to peel back, be a little bit cautious or patient, and let them prove that they deserve your attention. You know, regardless of how eager you are to have something, let's say a product that you really want, but while you're walking, some salesperson comes on and says, please buy this, the same thing that you actually want. I give it to you for a really cheap price, really cheap price. Suddenly you say, well, that thing that I really wanted always doesn't seem so hot now because this guy is just actually giving it away. Yeah, suddenly it's lost value to me. Before I was, seeking it out, but now it's so available to me. I don't think it's so valuable because it's so available to me. We are accustomed to think something that is so available to us is not really so valuable. It has to be scarce. Some kind of a show, a game. You can have it, but not really. Really? No, but I want to have it. Well, you may. I will decide. Depending. These things, the games. So pull back a little bit. Don't be so available. I have the same problem. I see a girl, I like her, I attend to her, I pay attention to her, and maybe I've been in a conversation, tell her I like you. And they may actually turn around and say, I like you too. But people are not so confident in their minds. As soon as they see somebody so, let's say, great or good looking or fit or whatever that pays attention to, which is what they wanted. But when they see it's so available, suddenly they think, oh, maybe it's not that great because why is it so available? I don't think I'm really that qualified. So why is it so available? So if it's so available, maybe something wrong with it. So maybe it's not much. I don't want it. I change it. That's the mentality of most people, unless that person really qualified, really confident. And when you pay the attention to, he or she appreciates this. Oh, great. Like I would say, oh, well, she knows quality. She already understands. She likes our conversation. She likes the attention I give her. She can reciprocate, and she does. So perfect. Hard to find those people. So chill out. Pull back a little bit. You're a girl. You know how to play the game. Play the game. We're so simple, we men. You play the game. For a while, we try to come even further for you. But you come so available. Well, most of us, if we're reasonable, we'll say, great, welcome. But some of us may actually think, well, maybe not. So same way, both it goes both ways. So play a little bit with the guys and not be so available. They'll come after you. All right. And she says, I text first, and sometimes they don't reciprocate with me, and they don't text me except if I text them. Yeah, because they like to be in control, and they're actually hoping that you will text them because they won't have no challenge. They don't want to hear no. So they want you to take a step so they know, oh, you're available. You're gonna be with them. And then now the ego goes to their head, and they want to control now. So they wait for you to be more thirsty so they could now become unfair and take advantage from you when you're not necessarily ready to put out as much as you're willing to put out at the time. So that's another game. So the key is here. You text them once, whether you're a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. It works the same way. You meet someone, you're interested, and you talk about texting each other. So you text and she responds. You text, she responds. You text, ask for a date, let's say go out. She says, oh, it's a very good idea, but I can't. I'm doing this. Okay. A few days later, you try again, same or different suggestion, and she will say, oh, it's a wonderful idea. I like your idea, but I have to do this today. Well, you try a few more days, one more time. And if she comes back and says, oh, that's a great idea, we should do that sometimes, but I can't do it. Now, if in any of these buts, I can't do it, I got to do this today, she doesn't follow up with, however, I can do it 2 days from now. If she doesn't come up with a suggestion after refusing or not being available for whatever reason, if she doesn't come up to suggest another time and date, at least in any of these three tries that you did, dump her. By dump her, I don't mean demeaning her, but mean stop pursuing her. Because if a woman who is being offered a date or asked for a date or an outing or some kind of a function, an activity, and she just says, thank you, but I can't, but doesn't replace it with the suggestion of when she can or when can you guys do it, and you try that 2 or 3 times, that's the woman who's either doesn't want to be with you or is involved with somebody that doesn't have the guts to tell you and is just stringing you along in case that didn't work, then you have something. You're giving her the encouragement and the confidence to do whatever it is she wants to do with the other guy, to be acceptable or not, or to play a game or not, because she's got you to fall back and get confident from by your eagerness to please her. So that's the formula. If she doesn't suggest another time to replace the date you asked, the activity you asked to have together, you say, well, I appreciate the fact that you're busy, you're not available. I think it's no longer appropriate for me to call you since you've always appreciated my suggestion, but you never, came on to any of these functions, and you never even suggested when we can do it. So at this time, I will not call you anymore. If you wish for us to get to know each other, you can call me, text me, make an effort, make a plan, suggest activities, then we'll go from there. I wish you a wonderful day. Done. And you never call her again, ever, until she actually comes. If she doesn't, fair enough. Don't waste your time. Go away. Same thing for you, Tia. Yeah, okay, I just did. And Lygia Garcia is here. Hello, Lygia. Good to see you, dear. Tia Tia says we are your true fans. Yes, I believe so, because the six of you here. And Bobby Yoga is here. And Bobby Yoga says, thank you, Meron, for your videos through truth. What truth? Through the years. Through the years. I have grown a lot and have put my energy into a business now. Personal growth has given me a new perspective in life. I can't believe I used to waste so much time in caring about women when I could have started my business earlier. Well, both are interesting and both are necessary. So you can't just do one without the other, just ignoring the other. Says lots of thanks and best regards. Excellent. And with your business and having money and comfort and peace of mind, you'll feel more confident and there will be more girls coming to you. Anyhow. And Potara Gaming says, hi, Meron. I'm 22 years old. Been dealing with HOCD since last year. A lot better. Thoughts really slowed down. I keep playing with them. Yeah. Also, I always been stuck of wanting to have a girlfriend, but for some reason, I get scared to even start a relationship. Either I have to, con- I have low confidence and stuff, but I keep thinking I need one. Well, it's like saying I have low confidence to play in a team for soccer or tennis, but as long as you haven't played, you can't be better. So if you keep playing, whether you're good or bad, doesn't matter. Go in the team play, whether it's soccer or tennis or basketball, whatever. Do your best, and before you know it, you'll learn a thing or two, and then you become very comfortable around that whole environment, and the game becomes more interesting, and you become a very good player. So don't wait till you think you're ready. None of us is really ready. Every girl is different, and every girl is challenged. Every consciousness is interesting. So there's no way they can always be best. But the more you play, up to a certain point, the more you have a chance to become better at this game and be able to interact better with girls, and then understand them better to a certain point, because they're all mystery at every time, every new time. And then eventually you maybe find the one that is most compatible with you. At least you become more and more confident in that surrounding environments. Bithu Barua says, hello, Meran. Hope you are fine. How can we manage our thoughts process when someone tried to criticize us or let us down? Well, understand that that person's opinion about you is that person's opinion about you, not the world's opinion. But the fact that we want to be liked and appreciated by everyone, and everyone seems to represent the whole world to us, that's the problem. Separate that person from the entirety of the world, entirety of your world, and focus and open your eyes to the fact there are so much bigger and more people out there that either don't know about you or know about you and like you, and they're not criticizing you. And this particular one, you just want to have everybody adore you and appreciate you. No, many people are stupid. It's okay. It's not judgmental. People have this thing, I can't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. Yes, you have to be judgmental in every fucking second of your life. That's why you have a brain, to use it to see if this is good, appropriate for me or not. Should I have tea or coffee? That's being judgmental. Should I get up now or roll around the bed another half an hour? That's judgmental. Should I go to school or to go work or go to the beach? That's just being judgmental. Should I have coffee or donut or coffee and muffin? That's being judgmental. Should I go out with this girl or not? That's okay, because this girl stinks. That one looks like shit. This one has got, I don't know, something coming out of her wherever. But this one looks so wonderful. I like this one. That's good to be judgmental, because we all have certain standards. It doesn't mean to put people down, but it means you have certain standards, and based on those standards, judge if they fit your criteria and meet your standards or not. Otherwise, everything is okay. No, it's like going to saying, I'm hungry, so I'm not judgmental. I eat shit and I eat garbage and I eat the dirty food and the spoiled food and I vomit if I get sick. That's okay. No, you got to be judgmental. What's the date of this milk? What's the ingredient of this food? When is it made? Who made it? Their hand clean or not? Is this sanitary? All these things is important for you, and it's available to you to make judgment for betterment of your health and well-being. Be judgmental. Jesus. Anyhow, having said that, so wanting that person to like you or say something good about you doesn't make you good or bad. If the person criticizes you, it doesn't make you bad. It's just that you want to be considered perfect in everyone's mind. And the fact is that the guy is, or the person is antagonizing you or judging you in a negative way doesn't make that person better than you. It could actually mean that's so stupid that cannot see the quality in you. Who cares? But we do, because we sum up the whole entirety of our world to this one person, one opinion. You open your eyes and there's a world out there, and this is a puny little simple pebble of nothing that just as well he or she antagonizes you, there are many other people who will praise you, and they know you and they want to know you, and they don't have shortcomings that they want to hold back on praising you like maybe this person has. Some people simply put you down because that's the only way they can look big. They cannot build their own life and accomplish things to look important, but they can cut somebody else's down who's accomplished or maybe made a slight mistake or maybe didn't make a mistake. But if they cut them down, they look like if they accomplished something. They look big because they made somebody feel bad. That's a mentality of some people, but has nothing to do with you. So you should disengage yourself from this particular need for some asshole or somebody, scholar or not, to like you or compliment you or antagonize you. Who gives a shit? My famous philosophical conclusion. Who gives a shit? All right. Aman Gadpal is here. I'm always glad to see you. Thank you, Aman. Good to see you here as well. Adam Parkin says, hello, since I've been suffering with HOCD. How come it only shows 6 people? Well, we got so many questions here. What's wrong with this thingy? Hello, since I've been suffering from HOCD so far, you've given the best information for finding a positive route out of this dark place. I'm still getting through slowly but surely. Good for you, Adam. Keep watching the videos and love yourself. And don't believe your brain. The first step, the most important step to be able to help your brain to rewire itself and you feeling as you've always felt, good and comfortable and confident about who you are, what you are, and not be waved with all the bullshit that the brain puts you through, is to understand the fact that you're not the brain and brain is not you. They're two separate things. Brain is a tool, apparatus, an organ. Its job is to make thoughts, but it's not your intellect, your intelligence center. It is not a place where intelligence is localized in the brain. There are aspects of you and the mind that brain cannot even reach, according to the neurosurgeons' experiments, which I have a video on it. Dr. Sperry, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Libet, Dr. Owens. You will love the experiments that they've done in real fact, life, scientific way, proven that what you think, that the brain is you, you're the brain, is not true, is wrong. Plus the fact that Dr. Schwartz have all that, um, that you're not the brain, brain is not you, in his book of, I think it's called Brain Lock, or it's called You're Not the Brain. Anyhow, all these information are available to you. Instead of believing the facts, scientific and philosophical point of views, you believe the bullshit and nonsense that some garbage is out there, and then the brain catches on and makes thoughts, and suddenly you're fucked up. Help your brain to rewire itself. Don't abandon your brain. Help it rather than being afraid of it. It's having a meltdown. It's having a glitch. It's having a malfunction. Help it. Understand how the brain mechanism works and help it to rewire itself to its default setting. It'll be then you'll become stronger than you were ever before. You will. I guarantee you that. The knowledge opens up the powers that you possess. But if you don't, the negativity and misconceptions and all these suggestions of the brain will overwhelm you, make you be confused, where the power of knowledge is all you need. There's nothing changing in you, and you're just as good as you've always been, according to your preferences and how you were put together. Nothing has changed. This needs to be helped to be rewired. That's all. Aman says, 22, male, India. If a girl been close to not now, being what? If a girl I've been close to, not now, not dated, just close, and I heard she casually go on date with another boy, not sure if she does. Should I ask her, would you like to go with me? I don't know if she's dating. You don't have to know if she's dating or not. You can always ask. If she's dating, she says, well, I'm dating. Or if she says no, you say it's a no. You can try again a few time later, a few days later. She still says no, well, then you can try again a month later. You can try, it doesn't hurt. Until she says, well, I'm dating, I have a boyfriend. So then, why didn't you tell me sooner? But you don't assume she's going out. Simply, if you really want to be, I don't know, precise, you can say, hey, are you seeing anyone? Are you in any relationship? She says no. So, I'd like to take you out. Would you like to go for a tea? Simple, something. Don't make a big deal out of it, and see what she says. If she says yes, great. She doesn't, okay, well, still friends. And the world doesn't come to an end if some girl you like doesn't want to go out with you. It just doesn't. You get hurt or you get sad or whatever because you're in love with your desire. You're making decisions for your desire. It's not like it's the end of the world. You just couldn't fulfill your desire and you get sad. Okay, that's fine. But as soon as you forget it and you see some other opportunities, it's gone, done, finished. You're not in pain anymore. There are other opportunities. But, don't be shy of asking a girl out nicely. MA35. Oh, Pat Santos says, because 2020 COVID came and 2021 and 2022, got a girlfriend overseas, no sex since 2019. Yeah, that's not a good idea because eventually she's going to have sex with somebody locally and you may meet somebody if she doesn't. And this is going to fall apart and one of you are going to get hurt. So expect that happening. And they may not even tell you that's happening just because they're enjoying this confidence giving interaction or relationship, which is, healthy, but in some ways could be disappointing at the end. Miyamata says, thank you, Meron, for helping me. Was so stressed from last 1.5, 5 months. You're right. I was being puss and being afraid of invincible. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. Pat Santos says, OCD attack, the most important thing is our life. Yes. Miyamoto, do you see what you just did? 'Cause 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 'C Pat Santos made a comment and you're running. Oh, what did you mean, Pat? Who cares? Well, you're trying to, oh, maybe this is something about OCD. I should know. Oh, but relax. You decide who you are, what you are, your preferences, and that's all. You live by your vetoes and choices, not by suggestions of the thoughts, intrusive thoughts, images. No, by your vetoes and choices. It doesn't matter what the brain says or not. You choose what becomes an action, what it doesn't, what you follow, what you don't, what you look at, what you don't, what you pay attention to, what you don't, what you become active in, what you don't. You have all the power in the world, but you're afraid of some thought? Fuck. Thought by itself is not life. Raju says, hi, Mehran, sir. I'm 35, male from India. Best intrusive thought recovery tip you can give? I have. It's in so many facets and so many angles. It's like 500, 600, 700 videos on it. I can't. But the best one I can tell you is that you're not the brain. Brain is not you. It's two separate things. So don't fall for whatever the brain conjures up shit in your head. If you understand the separation between brain and you, that you're not the brain, brain is not you, you're the first and most important step to freedom. And Pat says, go to gym, play sports, play video game. Yeah, he's right. Raju says, I have religious OCD or religiosity OCD, and if I had an intrusive thought comes about a deity, I become fearful of punishment, hell, and all those things. Yeah, none of them will ever happen, no matter what you think. You can think of a dick up God's ass and nothing happens. Oop, my hand, I shouldn't have said that. No, it's all right. Nothing happened. So relax. All that is the conditioning they have put in your brain to control you. All these mosques and churches and all this shit since thousands of years ago, all been designed to control you. At the beginning, it started in good faith to make a better human being out of us wild assholes in million years ago, 1,000 years ago. But then some smart asses, bishops and men of cloth and mullahs and whatnot try to use all that to fear you, put the fear into your heart to get your money, to get control, get your women, get your daughters, and molest you and molest your family under the control of, I am representation of God. You bow to me as you bow to God. And while you're bowing, they're shoving it up your ass. So you need to understand there's a limit to everything. Religious is good, is interesting, is empowering, and it gives you closeness to your creator, but have a direct connection with it, not through a clergy or something that says you got to do this, otherwise that. They put fear into your heart to the point that you can't even think anything nasty. Look, anything that you love so much, intrusive thoughts could happen about it. You love your parents, you could have intrusive images of something shitty or something disgusting is happening, or they're being done to, or you're doing to them, or they're doing to you. These are intrusive thoughts. These are nothing about you. It's a malfunction and glitch of the fact that you love something, and then the fear of losing it and attacking it is there, and the brain runs with it because brain doesn't understand it's a bad thing to do. It thinks that it's going to alarm you, alert you with all these images and thoughts so you can protect yourself better. But it's just nonsense, and it's annoying when the caudate nucleus in basal ganglia midbrain doesn't work as it's designed to function to shut down these intrusive thoughts. So when such thoughts show up, it doesn't shut down, it hovers, and you think, wow, it must mean something. No, it just means that leverage, that's leverage, or that handle is not working as it's designed to do, to shut down when things appear in your head which are not in line with your values. It just needs to be rewired and rehelped to get back to default setting. That's pretty much it. It's not a mystery, but it's a mystery for the ones who don't know it, and they go, I start reading all these nonsense that other people who don't know write shit and their views and then confuse everybody. Follow the philosophical point of view and scientific point of view, and psychologists, psychotherapists, experts in the field of OCD, such as Dr. Philipson, Dr. Jan Wenner, Dr. Schwartz, and all these neuroscientists, neurosurgeons, and their experiments, Dr. Libet, Dr. Spirit, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owen. All these people have done work, for heaven's sake. Read them. I've put videos on their work, so it's there. You can read it, watch it. It's called You're Not the Brain. Just put in You're Not the Brain, and that video, 45 minutes, comes in with all the experiments, which are all put together by Dr. Ignar, and I used his report to enhance on it and then make a longer video, more elaborate, and then explain all these experiments that was done by these brilliant surgeons, neurosurgeons, and then help you to understand your brain better and stop falling for the bullshit of these intrusive thoughts and the rest of it. And Rix says, hello, I'm female, 22-year-old from Sri Lanka. Hello there. I have HOCD. Does my past action make me lesbian? No. Rick says, Mayor, sir, my past action, I told you, I wrote a comment and you replied to it like about early exposure to porn and getting aroused by same gender, and not by opposite gender. It's scary. But you see, you're repeating the question that I've already elaborately wrote down so many lines to explain to you. But this is the textbook OCD and HOCD, doubting disease. Regardless of how many times you read something, unless you actually contemplate and see the logic behind it, and then practice the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz to help yourself to rewire your brain through repetition and neuroplasticity of how you treat these thoughts, you won't get out of it. You still have doubts, because this is called doubting disease. But you got to continue this kind of treatment for yourself, the 4 steps, the understanding how to deal with intrusive thoughts, and then you will rewire the brain. But in this way, you're just looking for assurances. If you constantly look for assurances, that's why you're asking the same question that I've already answered you again here, because you want assurance. You already know the answer, but you want me to say it again because it kind of reassures you that, oh, this trumps the other information that hit me just now. So now I take this information as the first in line to pay my attention to it, to help yourself. You don't need that. You just remind yourself of the ones that are most important and helpful and logical, and then you don't have to seek assurances. Just don't seek assurances. Assurances is never ending story. So you will always have the problem until you get assurances. Cut yourself out of assurance. Just say the magic word, whatever. Why? Because nothing changes if you don't allow it. You have all the power and control in the world. Doesn't matter what the brain says just because you watch so many porn or this and that, so forth. Still nothing will happen if you don't allow any of these suggestions to become an action and act in an actual world. So there's no danger. It's just annoying, but there's no danger to you. So you don't need that constant assurances. Just say the magic word. Whatever. Because you still live by your choices and vetoes. Doesn't matter if you say whatever or not. You don't have to solve it. You don't have to come to a conclusion when a thought shows up in your brain. I have to destroy this. I have to logically reason with this and make sure that I win the argument with the brain. You're arguing with the brain inside. How crazy is that? Don't fall for that. Don't need conclusions. Don't seek conclusions. That's a trap. Just let these thoughts come and say, deal with it through 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz, or just say, yeah, well, thank you, bye. Whatever. I don't need assurances. You think I'm gay? Okay, fine, thank you. But I still want to go after this girl. You think I'm good? Okay, that's fine. But I like her high heels. You just know and understand that no matter what brain suggests or anybody suggests, you have the ultimate power. You live by your vetoes and choices. Nothing can change that. That is all you. Your awareness, not your brain. Your awareness based on your values. What makes you tick? What's sacred to you? Those are what you're holding sacred in a special place called wise advocate, Dr. Schwartz calls it. Gatekeeper, Dr. Phillipson calls it. Super consciousness, I call it. These are values that you hold sacred, your basic principles. You live your life. These are your values, and you hold them sacred in impenetrable place. Wise advocate, your logic, your reasoning. Gatekeeper, what controls what comes in, what doesn't go out, what protects your values. Superconsciousness, what's automatically your default and your go-to place when any advice or any values needs to be reaffirmed or sought after to see if that meets your standards or not. That's where it's all at. That's what the base of your life is, and that's what you make your choices and vetoes in life. Nothing else can actually, in reality, trouble it, because it's all in your hand. The ultimate power, your choices and your vetoes. That's what you live, regardless of what glitches the brain has or what suggestions somebody out there makes no difference to you. You live by your choices and vetoes. Rix, if you were, you would have known. You wouldn't have questioned. It would be just natural. These are thoughts that coming out because you're not. If you were, there would be no thought. Just like if somebody tells you, you know, you're heterosexual, with no further thoughts coming from it. But if it's the other way around, it's suggested by anybody or your brain, you try to find solution, logic, why, assurance. So apparent to you that it's not the way you think, just the way you choose and you prefer, and that's it, nothing else. This is exactly textbook of doubting disease. You know, what you just said in your last question. I mean, one question before last. And he says, sir, I even religious, I really hate this. Well, it doesn't matter. Just don't panic. These are part of the glitches of the brain. Nothing happens to you. You know, it's like you fart. So, oh, sir, I'm really religious. I don't like farting in front of like mullah or clergy or whatever, bishop. It's nothing happens. You farted. Okay. Brain also has farts. It comes up with all this crazy shit that, oh my goodness, my brain is a holy place. It should not have anything bad in it because I'm religious. No, it is an organ. Like the ass, it farts. Here goes malfunctioning, berserk. All these neurons, so many billions of, I mean, you can't have them all be in line. That's why many people have mental problems. And some of it is into such a glitch as OCD or HOCD and things that some of us have experienced. Well, so no big deal. Don't feel like suddenly you're falling from the sky and that God has gonna abandon you because you farted or you had a glitch of religiosity, whatever, disrespect or having sex with God. I don't know. At least, you know, for your sake, you know, God is a man. I wish God was a woman. Who knows what God is? What I'm going to change my God to a woman in high heels. So at least if there's any intrusive thoughts, you know, good pleasurable. Laugh it off. Nothing big deal. if God is as mighty as it is that has created all us, he's going to have a sense of humor. He's not going to take it, oh, this child disrespected me who's all powerful. So now I'm going to put a curse on. Like, what kind of a fucking God is that? Weak pussy? Relax. You can think whatever you want of your God. If he's powerful and almighty, he wouldn't mind at all. And he understands that his own fucking malfunction and glitches is of his creation. So that's not our fault. There we go. I hate it when my physical doesn't align with something I love. Don't worry about it. Train it, you will. I love opposite gender, but I don't get aroused by them. No, you do. It's just that you haven't lately because of intrusive thoughts. So once you get rid of these, you'll have everything as it always was, because once it was, wasn't it? All right. Looks like it's 1 hour and 28 minutes we're here. I think it's been enough. We answered all the questions. I love you all. Thank you very much for being. It's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being and giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. Be good to yourself, to the others. In the meantime, I should have said, in the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon. But we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing. Again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.